Okay, so we're going to do a body scan this morning. On Saturdays now, as there's only one session, we're going to be doing a different one each Saturday. So we're starting with the body scan, and then next week it'll be the mindfulness of breathing, probably. Morning, Shraddha Gupta. Morning, Julie. Good to see you. So I just wanted to read the poem, as I do sometimes. And this is a poem I've read before by Jon Kabat-Zinn, who was a great proponent of mindfulness. And I'm reading this because, in a way, the body scan, the body awareness meditation, is a way of, of cultivating awareness, of cultivating mindfulness. And mindfulness is the most powerful thing we have in our armory as humans, the most powerful tool we have to change the world and to change ourselves. And we cannot change the world, and we cannot change ourselves without mindfulness or awareness, whatever you might call it. And this mindfulness, this awareness, is simply being present in each moment, knowing what we're doing, and from that comes wisdom. Normally we don't do that. Normally we're caught up in views and attitudes and thoughts and moods and planning and wanting and not wanting, and all these things create a state of mind where we act out of delusion, where we act out of a sense of unreality. So if we can be mindful, if we can be completely aware and know what we're doing and be completely present, then we act with wisdom. If somebody's angry with us, we respond with kindness. And if we have pain of some kind, then we just look after the pain and don't get caught in not wanting it and pushing it away. We stop craving quite so much. We might drop some of our habits of wanting things and getting in a state over them, and getting in a state of not having them. So it helps us. Mindfulness creates contentment, and contentment creates wisdom and love, and wisdom and love change the world radically, and change us. So this body awareness meditation is not. It's not just it's not just a relaxation technique. It's something that is really important. It helps us to be mindful. And then when we go on to do the other meditations, it feeds into them. It helps us to follow the breath more effectively and to settle. And it helps us to be kinder and more positive in our the way we engage with the world. So that's why we're doing it, really. So shall we get on with it? So just make sure you're comfy. As usual, you can be lying on your bed, lying on the floor, sitting on a cushion, or sitting in a chair. Doesn't matter. Just make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes if you wish. That's often helpful. Or just keep them slightly open if that's easier. And we're going to begin in the usual way by just arriving. And what I mean by arriving is that just knowing we're here right now, this moment, just being aware that we're here. I'll read the poem in a little while. Just relaxing the mind and the body as much as we can. Relaxing the facial muscles, letting any frown in the forehead drop out. Allowing the jaw to be slightly open, and the eyes resting behind the eyelids. Noticing the weight of your body and how it is held by whatever you're lying or sitting on. And in a way you can surrender the weight of your body, just give it up. Allow the chair, the floor, the bed, the cushion to hold you. You don't have to do anything. And noticing the breath coming into the body and leaving the body. And the breath is quite comforting. If we can just relax and allow it to come and go and tune into it. Coming into the throat, the mouth and the throat, and down into the lungs and out again. The lungs filling up, pushing out the chest cavity, and then relaxing. Just really focusing on that without too much effort, really trying to sense the enjoyment, the beauty and the rhythm of the breath. Just coming and going. So this is the mindfulness poem by Jon Kabat-Zinn. Have you ever had the experience of stopping so completely, of being in your body so completely, of being in your life so completely, that what you knew and what you didn't know, what had been and what was yet to come, and the way things are right now, no longer held even the slightest hint of anxiety or discord. A moment of complete presence beyond striving, beyond mere acceptance, beyond the desire to escape or fix anything or plunge ahead. A moment of pure being, no longer in time. A moment of pure seeing, pure feeling. A moment in which life simply is. And that isness grabs you by all your senses, all your memories, by your very genes, by your loves, and welcomes you home. That is a taste of mindfulness. So we're going to make an exploration of the body, a journey through who we are, how we feel, what's going on in our being. And some of the places we visit you may find easy, some may be more difficult. There may be good feelings and bad feelings, or at least uncomfortable feelings. And in this journey, we're just going to take them all as they come. Sometimes you might not be able to feel anything. Other times you might feel riches in the body. So just taking it all as it comes, as it is for you. I'm going to begin at the shoulders. And just noticing your shoulders, bringing awareness to whatever you can feel in the shoulders. It may not be much, or it may be a tingling. Maybe for me a sharpness, a kind of difficult to describe, a lifting somehow, a tenderness. But just noticing what you can notice. You might find achiness or tightness. There might be some discomfort. And wherever we find discomfort in the body, just turning towards it with kindness, not trying to push it away in any sense. Just listening to the body telling you what it needs to tell you with a sense of kindness. Perhaps the pain will then moderate. So just taking in the shoulders with kindness. All the parts of our body love to be noticed. Moving up slightly to the lower neck. Again, noticing any achiness. Maybe just adjusting your posture if there is any. But relaxing, always relaxing. Always letting go of any tendency to stiffen up, to hold ourselves in a rigid way. Softening. Moving up the back of the head. Can you feel the scalp stretched across the skull? Maybe a slight sense of tightness. Moving up to the crown of the head. There's more feeling here. So can you feel these subtle vibrations, this tightness? If you can't, that's fine. Just stay open to noticing something. Moving round, down over the forehead. And probably it's likely that you're frowning, because we seem to walk around or live our lives with a slight tightness in our forehead. So just letting that go if it's there. Just relaxing the forehead. And just noticing, if you're doing that, how that feels, how much better it feels to just let the forehead relax. Just softening the forehead. And moving down into the face, doing exactly the same thing with the facial muscles, just allowing them to sag, just letting go of any holding. Allowing the jaw to drop open slightly. Just noticing your eyes. Even if you've got your eyes closed, we're still looking. And we don't quite need to look as strongly. So just allowing the eyes to relax as well. Just to soften. So just making sure the whole of the face is relaxed. And just noticing how that feels. We hold a lot of tension in our faces as we face the world. It really helps us if we can really let that go whenever we can and just relax. So moving back down the throat, noticing what you can feel, if anything, there. And back to the shoulders. Just noticing how the shoulders feel again. Maybe different to how they were before. Maybe the same. And then we're going to move down the back of the body, beginning with the upper back. Noticing the upper back rising and falling with the breath. Very, very gently. And just noticing if there's any discomfort there. Well, you probably don't have to notice it, it's probably telling you if it is. So if there is any discomfort, you might adjust your head and shoulders a little, just sit more alertly, and straighter back, but also just showering any discomfort with kindness, breathing into it, just really acknowledging any pain in the back. It sounds completely counterintuitive, but we tend to push pain away, and that causes tension. If we can turn towards it and embrace it in a kindly way, the pain will soften. Moving down the back, seeing if you can notice the spine. This is a real challenge. Spine's so important to us, it's so full of communication, but it's quite difficult to feel. But you might just get a hint of it. You can certainly notice the muscles that are holding the back in place. A sense of Slight tension in the back as the muscles hold us upright. If you're lying down, you might not feel that. If you're lying down, you will feel contact with whatever you're lying on. If you're sitting up, you could feel the back of the chair if you're in a chair. But otherwise, you might feel the slight tension of the muscles doing the job. Moving to the lower back. What can you feel there? And round down to the hips, big bony structures. And we don't really pay much attention to these parts, these bony bits of our body, until they hurt, and then we notice them a lot. So can you notice anything about your hips? It's not easy, I guess, but can you get any sort of sense of your hips there? Don't worry if you can't. It's not a competition. We're just seeing what we can feel. And you may feel things differently to how I do, of course. So we'll move round to the bum. The bit we're sitting on. And you might notice there's padding on the bum, which we need to make us comfortable. So that's in contact with whatever you're sitting or lying on. But beneath that are our sitting bones. And can you feel them? They're much sharper. They're what are supporting us. They're what are stopping us collapsing in a heap. They're holding us on the seat or whatever we're sitting on. So there's lots of feeling in the buttocks and the sitting bones. This sense of support from the sitting bones and the sense of contact with the bum. Can you feel all of that? The kind of overall sense of tingling, very fine, or for me anyway, very fine tingling. But lots of it. And moving down the back of the leg and the back of the top of the leg, the hamstrings, really strong muscle group. Be relaxed probably. Can you feel anything in there? And moving to the lower leg, the calf muscles. Again, quite a massive muscle there. And if you can't feel the muscle, can you feel any clothing that's brushing the skin? Or if you've got bare legs, the air on the skin. You might feel the sensitivity of the skin on the calf muscles. And leaving the calf muscles now and running down along the Achilles tendon to the heel of the foot. You feel anything there? Maybe a slight tension. And moving to the sole of the foot. So this part of our body is full of nerve endings. It's absolutely alive. Can you feel any aliveness in the sole of your foot? Tingling? Maybe a sense of warmth or coldness? It's very strange, but the thing that we walk upon all the time is one of the most sensitive parts of the body. That's why we're so ticklish on our feet, on the soles of our feet. So just for a moment, let's linger here and see what we can feel, just focusing in as much as we can. And if you're struggling to feel anything, that's okay. Don't try too hard. Just relax and notice whatever you can, even if that's very little. And if you can feel tingling and movement down there, and really home in on it, it's almost as if you become the sole of the foot. You can almost breathe from the sole of the foot. So it's almost like the sole of the foot is breathing in and breathing out. So we'll move on now, moving down to the toes. Can you feel your big toe? It's relatively easy, I think. But oh, the other toes. Well, I can't feel my individual toes. Can you? Can you feel your toes? I can feel all of them together, the other four. But I find them hard to separate. But some people can. Maybe you can. Moving around to the top of the foot now. And You can probably feel any clothing on the foot or the air brushing the skin on the top of the foot. Moving up a little to the ankle. Now there's a lot of bony bits in this next few stages. Can you feel anything in the ankle? Just looking really deeply. There is certainly feeling in all the bony areas. If we knock them, they really hurt. But if they're just okay, we tend not to feel much in them. But there has to be feeling there if we pay attention. Moving up to the shin muscle, not muscles, the shin bone. Again, can you feel anything? If you can't feel the shin bone itself, you might feel the skin around it. Any clothing brushing against it. And the knee, another big mass of muscle. Sorry, why do I say muscle? Another big mass of bone with some muscles around it. What can you feel there? Anything? Not trying too hard. Don't, just keep relaxed about this. Notice what you can notice. There may just be a slight tingling, a sense of solidity. And moving on to the upper leg, the quads, these big muscles at the front of the upper leg. If you're sitting, these are probably slightly tightened. If you're kneeling, as I am, the same thing. But if you're lying down, they are sitting cross-legged, they may well be quite relaxed. Maybe not so much if you're cross-legged. So we're going to move into the upper body now. And the front of the upper body is where we feel a lot of feelings. We can feel the physical feelings of the body, but also emotional, the result of emotions. So when we get emotional in any way, in our minds, the body responds. So if we're anxious, we might get a churning in the front of the body, or we might get a knot if we're really a bit stressed and anxious. We might get a hard knot in the belly or the abdomen. When we get excited, there is fluttering. And so whatever our emotions, they have a tendency to play out in the front of our body. And they can be uncomfortable. So when this happens, what we need to do is to separate the mind from the physical results of any emotion. So our mind might get anxious, and that will manifest as sensations in the belly or the abdomen or the chest. So if we can just drop the thinking and as much as we can and home in on the unpleasant feelings with a sense of kindness and caring and relaxation, then what happens is that we stop this vicious circle of the mind affecting the body and the body affecting the mind. We can break the circle of unpleasant emotion just by looking after the feelings, the bare sensations in the body. So if there's anything of that kind there now, that would be a good thing to do. Take care of the discomfort, breathe into it, shower it with loving kindness. Otherwise, just noticing what's going on in the belly and the abdomen. You might find there's a slight tightness if you might be slightly tense and not even realize it. So if there is this slight tightness, any tension there, just relaxing into it, just breathing into it, having a sense of kindness towards it. And the same with the chest area, any tightness, any feeling of strain in the chest, just acknowledging it with kindness. Noticing the breath coming and going. Just allowing the pain, any tightness to be as it is. Just allowing the body to rest in the way it is. Listening to it with a sense of care and kindness. And finally, we're going to move up to the shoulders again and down the arms. Just noticing the upper arms and the lower arms. Whatever you can feel in that area. Tingling, maybe. Weight. The arms are quite heavy. You might feel the weight. And if we go right down to the wrist, can you feel your pulse? You might not be able to, but it's very probable that if you just rest easily and with awareness, that you will notice this beating of the pulse. Just tuning into the aliveness of the body. Moving down to the hands full of energy, the hands. Can you feel them, the whole of the hands, vibrating, tingling, warmth, maybe dampness. The back of the hands. The palm of the hands. All the way down the fingers to the fingertips. So much energy in the hands. So much aliveness. So taking in the whole of your body. Taking in the whole of your being now. Extending your awareness, broadening it out to take in the whole of your physical experience. Not pushing anything away, not getting caught up in anything. Just being with the actual moment by moment experience. I'm going to ring the bell to bring the meditation to an end soon. And when I do, just taking your time to move your body and open your eyes. Well, I hope that's helped to set you up for the day. It certainly has for me. I think going through the body like that is, in a way, it's so magical, to just let go of our normal thinking and worrying and so on, and just to be absorbed in something so completely, or as completely as we can be. So I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you have a really good weekend, and have a chance to relax and enjoy yourself. We'll be meeting, as I said, next Saturday at 10:45, actually meeting physically, the York Buddhist group. We'll be meeting in Museum Gardens, just between St Mary's Abbey and the Artist Garden at 10:45 till 12. So if you want to come, bring a chair. We'll do about half an hour's meditation, and then we're gonna get a chance to have a chat. So that'd be great to do that after all this time, if you can make it. If you're in York, I mean, if you're in Hayling Highland, that's more difficult. And I'm sorry that you won't be able to make it. Anyway, thank you for coming. I'll be back on Tuesday morning. Kate's away next week, so I'll be here at 8 o'clock and at 11 o'clock, and I'll look forward to seeing those of you who can make it then. So lots of love to you. Have a good weekend and stay safe.